Hey, hello everybody, and welcome. I'm Clay Stackhouse, and welcome to the Making Sense podcast brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. I'm your host. I'm a retired Marine colonel. I was in the Marines 25 years. Actually, my son is a Marine now. Go Shane. I'm very proud of him. I transitioned out of the Marine Corps, which I got to do a lot of really cool stuff. I got to fly the president. I did a bunch of combat tours. But 10 years ago, I made the transition, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Transition to Navy Federal Credit Union and have absolutely snatched lightning. I'm the regional outreach manager for Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. So I'm kind of the grits and gravy guy down here. Loving it. I work out of Pensacola, and we have two guests today. I'm happy to say we have Jesse Border. Jesse is a former Army veteran and an AVP at Branch Operations at Navy Federal. He works to support military families and community initiatives like Bags for the Brave with a background that includes serving as an assistant manager and a degree in business administration. Jesse also participated in a community events like Bear Brigade during our Military Appreciation Month. So welcome, Jesse. We also have Tracy Owens here. Tracy's a retired lieutenant commander in the Navy. She's a senior programs manager and for Support The Enlisted Project. She's a 30-year Navy veteran, woo, yay, and understands and has seen the struggles young families face firsthand. That's why she's so passionate about this organization. Tracy's been in the San Diego area since 2008 and enjoys going to the beach, traveling, and spending time with family and friends. Support the Enlisted Project, or STEP, improves financial wellness to combat food insecurity, homelessness, mental health challenges, suicide, and other crises through counseling, education, and financial support for our enlisted military. So thank you, and welcome to both Tracy and Jesse. Isn't it true that transitioning is a big deal? We obviously have the right crew in here to talk about this today. I did this 10 years ago, like I said, and I'll tell you, it's no small thing. I got stress headaches during the transition. I didn't know what I didn't know, what was out there. I just went and I talked to the Service Academy Career Conference, and it gave me angst because it put me back into that 10-year ago point where I didn't really realize all the things that were out there. I didn't take advantage of we've partnered with Hire Heroes. Even this podcast, I wasn't looking at things like our Making Sense podcast. There's a lot of things we have out there that can help you. And that's why we're here. I'm doing great with it now. I feel great with our transition, but it took a while. And I love being able to help you all now listen in. Jesse, is there anything you could share about your transition?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me on today, Clay. I think about my transition from the Army every day. I've been fortunate to serve with Navy Federal for over 9 years now, and I still to this day refer to myself as a transitioning service member. I think it is very much so an ongoing journey, and an evolving journey every day. So something that I really look back on is when my wife and I were discussing separating from the military service. It was overwhelming, and a lot of places you don't really know where to go to look for resources. So I remember vividly the Army at the time had a transition assistance program that they offered. It was a 2-week program. And I was so focused on trying to set myself up for success that I took that program twice to just give myself the best opportunity to find success. And I was extremely fortunate to move into a role with Navy Federal, and have been here for over 9 years, serving in multiple leadership roles, and just really had a great opportunity to partner with some nonprofit organizations and really continue to learn life after the military, see all that we do in our community as an organization with financial education, and continue to evolve as the transitioning service member every day.
Yeah, that's great. Do you know, I remember as I was preparing for this podcast, I was thinking about the transition, and I remember vividly when talent acquisition, Will Usher, a great man, he's still in talent acquisition, called me I was at a job fair, and the relief I had that I had landed a job with a unit like Navy Federal. Tracy, you did a lot of stuff in the Navy and saw it from a bunch of different perspectives. I'd love to hear about your transition and what we could learn from that.
Thanks, Clay. Yes, I spent 30 years in the Navy. It's most of my adult life. It was definitely something to work through. I was fortunate to have really great mentors that kind of coached me along as I was approaching that time frame. I think that's very important as you begin your transition out, is to talk to people who have recently separated or retired from the military. I went to TAP twice as well. I wanted to make sure that I got every ounce of information I needed to set me up for success. I also attended the Rulin Leadership Transition course, and I was also turned on to a organization with Easter SEALs, the Bob Hope Transition Program. That was more of a mentoring program, and I was really fortunate to get a great coach. And they worked with me for about a year prior to transition to really help me figure out what I wanted to do. I think everyone has this question. You spend most of your life in the military, and someone asks you, what do you want to do? I didn't have an answer for that. I always thought I would just be in the military, but I really started to think about it, and I had boiled it down to I wanted to try the nonprofit sector. And my focus at that time was either on children or military. And I was really fortunate to see a job announcement for Support The Enlisted Project, and I've been with them ever since.
That's great. That is so great because, as I think about the foreboding, it was told to me by one of my mentors, and you're right, the reaching out to whatever your church, who your people are. There are people in those communities who want to mentor you. I'm mentoring someone now, but it was told it's a three-legged stool to milk a cow, but it's where you want to live, what you want, what you want to do, and how much you want to make. And you're right. You have to sit down and struggle with all that stuff, because in the military, they just tell you where to go. Clay, your next duty station is this. Here's the turnover binder. Get after it. And it's not like that at all in the military. So I feel like I just got back from the Association of the U.S. Army, which is a huge thing up in D.C. Navy Federal sponsored the Army 10-miler, another huge thing in D.C. We were wondering whether it was even going to go. So we're always supporting the military, but in November is special because Veterans Day, we consider it Veterans Month. Every month is a Veterans Month, but November is special. We have free financial counseling for veterans to transition. I did that. I went through and said, hey, look, I'm not going to have all the health care. Like, you don't have dental when you get out of the military. And I wasn't sure about that. There's a bunch of different things, especially as Jesse and Tracy alluded to the difference in transitioning. Think of all the people that transition each year. Each one's an individual story. And they do it individually. At Navy Federal, we know that, and we're there to help you with these podcasts. There's all sorts of stuff on the internet that we do. As a veteran, your service opens the door to exclusive benefits to you and your whole family. So make sure you take advantage of those things. You mentioned your STEP. Could you tell us a little bit about that, Tracy, and what y'all do there?
I'd love to. Support the Enlisted Project. We work with active duty service members, veterans, and their families to help stop the loss of basic life needs, eviction, repossession, utility disconnection. We do that through our primary program, which is a financial wellness program. We provide education and counseling, and if needed, emergency grant. That grant is paid directly to the creditors, and then our social workers work with that family for up to 12 months following the crisis to help make that crisis their last.
That's something. Do you know, a lady came up to me at AUSA with tears in her eyes to thank us, Navy Federal, because she's a furloughed federal worker, and we were deferring her mortgage payment for the month. Mm-hmm. I mean, just that's the way you treat people at Navy Federal. I'm really proud of how we are conducting ourselves during the shutdown. I mean, I have a son in the Marine Corps. I want him to get paid. And although he did get his pay from DFAS, he was prepared to get the interest-free loan from Navy Federal. So really it's something that makes me proud. I like to say I've had 3 jobs in my life. I was a dishwasher in high school. I was a Marine, and now I'm a Navy Federal guy. And I think they're going to bring me out of here in a pine box because I really like it. Jesse, is there a vignette you'd like to give us about what you're thinking with regard to how we help veterans and we can continue to help veterans?
Yeah, I think oftentimes about this, and I work in our branch operations team, and I oversee a region of branches across Southern California, within Southern California. And something that I really take pride in is the financial education efforts that our team members take part in every day. So we have a wealth of financial education resources. These are presentations. We go out into the communities and discuss topics within financial education that sometimes service members or families, members of the community, this may be the first time that they're hearing about these or getting insight into these efforts. So I recall as a young man growing up, my grandmother introduced me to a credit union. And that has forever stuck with me in learning about financial health and the way that our branch team members get out into the community and educate our members of the military community and their families on all that Navy Federal can do to best support service members and their families day in and day out is just something that I really take a lot of pride in. And those conversations can really make a lasting impact on the members of our community and really make a difference in their financial well-being and their financial future.
Yeah. And thank you from bottom of my heart for what you all do at Branch Ops. I like to say you all are the front porch of Navy Federal, and you're out there interacting. We have over 360 branches all around the world. I actually did an aircraft mishap investigation when I was getting out of there just before I got out of the Marine Corps. And I went to Djibouti, Africa, and I'm like, hey, look, there's a Navy Federal credit union. So thanks a lot for what you do. It means a lot to people, having that brick and mortar place where you can go in and talk to your really professional employees. So, I want everybody listening on this podcast as we start to wrap it up here, take advantage of all of the things there. We have these people who will volunteer. You can see Jesse and Tracy are just 2 really great examples of people who have volunteered outside. You know, you have Department of Labor, TAP. I've written some of these down. VA, Vocational Rehabilitation and Employment. You got Career One Stop Veterans Center. Navy Federal works with Skill Bridge. We're all over the place, guys. But I want you, that's the message today. We're out there to help you. We really want to help you. So go to NavyFederal.org, okay? We have a 24-hour phone line, 888-842-6328. We want to talk to you, and we want to help you. So other than Jesse and Tracy, if y'all have anything else.
I'd love to add a couple of things. We are so grateful for the partnership with Navy Federal Credit Union. There's just so many different levels that Navy Federal stands with us in our mission to support military families. We have members from various branches that come out and volunteer in our warehouse. We've had supported our distributions out on the front lines, providing groceries and diapers to military families who need a little extra assistance. And then for the past few years, we've done our annual Bags for the Brave distribution with Navy Federal and CBS with Navy Federal. And it makes a tremendous impact for our military families. I believe this past year we collected over 8,000 individual items, hygiene items for military families. So shampoo, soap, laundry detergent, you name it. Every one of the branches in San Diego County participate, and just amazing support from Navy Federal. I've also been a longtime member, and I really can't tell you how much I appreciate your support, not only to our organization and our families, but to the community.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you back, Tracy. Thank you. Before we wrap it up, anything, Jesse?
I would just say the same to Tracy. Thank you for the partnership with Support The Enlisted Project. And I think to all the listeners, I think about our field and membership a lot. And as a veteran myself, being a member of Navy Federal, but that extending to my kids. I have 3 kids. 2 of them were born in military hospitals at different duty stations. And they're able to be members with Navy Federal and will become lifelong members. So I would just extend that to all of our listeners that It starts with the military service, active duty, veterans, retiree, but extends beyond that to our military families as well. So just thank you again for the opportunity to be on the call today.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you, Jesse. We keep doing that great work. Listen, much love from the family at Navy Federal Credit Union. Remember, go to NavyFederal.org, 888-842-6328. Remember, the members are the mission here. That's all we have.
Navy Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration. This podcast is intended to provide general information and shouldn't be considered legal, tax, or financial advice. It's always a good idea to consult a tax or financial professional for specific information on how certain laws may apply to your individual financial situation. References to and participation with the military community does not constitute organizational endorsement. Navy Federal is an equal housing lender. Navy Federal Credit Union are members of the mission.